Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're in Ithaca, New York, at my parents' place, and I came here specifically to fix up that white thing over there. It's a 2008 Nissan Versa. My friend from State College was driving it from Connecticut to Ithaca to Niagara Falls. He had a whole road trip planned. And it just so happens that in Ithaca, it left him stranded. Now, his story was, it has a couple different problems. I think the exhaust was kind of loud, and then he pulled over at a gas station, filled up, and then his air conditioner, he said, he stopped working. And then he heard this like roaring bearing sound. Okay. Kept driving the car around for a day or two around town here, and finally he goes to start it, and it starts and then stalls. He tries again, starts, stalls. That's it. Car doesn't want to run anymore. Takes it to a local shop here. They do dual diag on it. Say your air conditioning compressor is seized, and then the engine just can't turn it over. So he told me about that. They quoted him like $1,500 for, new compressor, the whole shebang. And I'm like, well, let me do a little research. You're in Ithaca. I wouldn't mind driving up here and visit my folks and help you out. So here we are. I looked online. On this car, you can't run it without the air conditioning compressor in place, just by the belt diagram. You can't just get a shorter belt, bypass it, and get it to my shop. So the air conditioning compressor is kind of a key piece in the whole belt diagram. And then so that's the only option. You need that pulley, and if it's seized up, then your car is basically useless. So not the best design, I guess. So anyways, the part that I got was off of eBay, just the kit with the clutch coil and the clutch and the pulley, the bearing. So hopefully that'll fit and we get this thing back on the road. Let's see how it goes. So just taking a quick preliminary visual inspection. I see the dipstick is out and bent. Interesting. Wonder why. So it does have oil in it. It's a good place to start. The belt is actually off, so I guess he took the belt off. Makes my job a little easier. And the air conditioner is right down here, and just feeling this thing by hand, the pulley is completely locked up, 100%. Now the actual compressor shaft, you can hear it rubbing, but it does spin. That is good news, meaning the compressor hopefully is still fine. If the shaft spins, we just need to replace the clutch and the pulley itself. So I don't want to discharge this thing if I don't have to. We can hopefully do it right on the vehicle, and yeah, get this thing taken care of. I also got a new belt for it because this one is obviously toast and dry and cracked. Let's jack it up, take the wheel off. So I brought just about everything with me. Hopefully it's all we'll need. A little thing, cart for the toolbox, creeper, some spare parts, brand new belt, bando. Love the bando belts. And this guy, let's see what's in the triple packaged. So, thank goodness for places like eBay. You can get kits separately. So this is the whole piece, meaning the clutch disc, the actual. So this is the bearing that seized up. So that's nice and smooth, and then the electrical part of the coil. So I'm assuming, if the bearing seized up, Then that coil, he said, you know, the AC stopped working, so probably melted the coil down. We're replacing the whole thing, and hopefully it'll fit. There's two different types of compressors on these Nissans. One's for a manual transmission, the other one's for an automatic. This is an automatic, but it's kind of like a rebuilt car that has parts from who knows where. Hopefully the compressor is still original and we can make this thing work. So let's jack it up. Alrighty, got the car securely jacked up on jack stands. Got the wheel off. Got the fender liner out of the way, more or less. These stupid metal things obviously are extremely rusty, so they just ripped the bumper off. Whatever. Here is our problem. You see the brown coloration around the compressor. So this bearing was just seizing, and now it's toast. This part, so the compressor shaft I think is still alive, which is great news. Unlike the Subaru Forester, where the compressor shaft seized up and then the clutch, there's so much drag that it like melted the coil down. This is just a bearing problem. Again, hopefully. Let's get this belt out of the way. It also drives the water pump, so make sure all your pulleys are spin really nice. There's the idler over here. It's not that long of a belt. We can just feed it down, I guess. There we go. Probably the original one. Alternator, nice and smooth. Tensioner pulley. Get that one from below here. Yeah, there's a little something there, but this is our main culprit. Let's try to take this guy apart. It looks like a 5mm hex bolt in there. So if I can get a socket on here and at least take the clutch off and see if we can disassemble it without touching the compressor mounting, that would be fantastic. Again, it's not a big deal to take the compressor and just move it so it's accessible. Let's just try it on the vehicle right now. Alright, here's the setup. 5mm hex, swivel ratchet, little pry bar, and this thing actually broke loose without any effort at all, which is good for us because we just want to take it off. So this bolt will just spin out all the way. We don't need the pry bar anymore. Just want to get this hex bolt out of here without too much drama. And here it comes. Ta-da! Make sure we keep track of all of our parts that we take off. There might be shims in here for the clutch. Oh, that's surprisingly straightforward. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, shims. Get a little magnet. Make sure we get all of these guys. Looks like there's 3 of them. Right with the bolt. And now the fun part. So now there's a snap ring right here. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So the bearing seized up and then the coil in there is completely fried. But it looks like it all moves. So all we need to do now is hopefully take off this rusty snap ring and pull the whole mess off of here. We want to disconnect the electrical connector for the coil. Let's do that and get this thing off of here. I'm looking at this compressor, looking at the nameplate. See if we can zoom in on that. CR10. Calsonic Cansate. That's pretty neat. So, again, like I said, there's two different types of air conditioning compressors for this vehicle, and the CR10, you know, that clutch only fits one of them. And I think the CR10 was listed as a manual transmission model. Let's get this guy off anyways and see what we can do. All right, we got our snap ring pliers all set up. Get in your home and pull the handles here, and there it goes. Ta-da! No problems there. And can we take this thing off? I was afraid this might be the hard part. The bearing's completely wasted, guys. It's completely wasted. There you go. It's coming. Nice. Yeah. Meltdown. Oh my word. I don't think a bearing is supposed to have all the balls on one side. Ridiculous. Now there should be, we get all this wire out of the way. There's a lot of wire. Yeah, it just keeps coming. This is what is inside of your air conditioning coil. There we go. Not much left there. There we go. Very nice. Now, there's a ring right here, and that is just actually the seal that got cooked from the back of the bearing, so don't need that. A couple of chunks of stuff, and we have another snap ring. Wonder if we can get to it with these guys or not. No, we'll need the straighter angle pieces. Let me put those in. Alrighty, got the big snap ring out for our coil. Awesome. And now the coil should theoretically come off. The new one is just this, so it might be rusted on. Get a few whacks with the hammer. There we go. Just a little season to the backing plate, looks like. Ah, yeah, very nice. That's what's left of that. Alrighty. Hey, it almost looks the same. Might be in good shape here. That would be awesome if this thing actually fits. And diameter looks the same. Good. Now let's just clean this guy off. I think that, I don't know, the bearing race is still. Basically clean out all this area off, and then everything will go on nice and smooth. Even brought my favorite blow nozzle. Sweet. Alright, I'm gonna fluid film the entire thing. Awesome. Now, first thing's gonna go on the coil. Now there's a little locator pin on the back, and that will sit right in this little groove right here. So as we put it on, let's see. It should be in its happy spot right there. And now the snap ring. Hopefully putting it on is easier than taking it off. Gonna make sure it's nice and clean. This one is pretty decent shape, so we'll just put it on our pliers, spread it open a little bit, and go to town. And once it's in, you can help it out with a little pry bar. Make sure it's in the groove. All right, snap ring's finally in. Once it's started, you can just kind of work around with a little pry bar. Make sure it snaps into its groove. But the coil is very solidly on. Connector pin is in place. Now, what's the next part? The actual prize, what caused this whole mess, is the pulley. So this should slip right on with all the fluid film we got on there. We'll have to tap it on a little bit. Sweet. That's it. There's our pulley. And our snap ring, number 2. Make sure that's all clean from melted debris. This guy should be a little more straightforward. Beautiful. That's in. Most excellent. And now, all we gotta do is make sure our clutch face is clean. Oh, it's gonna be nice. And put this guy in. The actual compressor clutch disc, if you will. Now the shims, I'll try it with all 3 shims in here at first and see if that will be sufficient or too much. So basically, when you mount the clutch disc, you want the smallest gap possible without having it drag. Those guys are in there. Take this guy. Ah, sweet. Splines right in. And once we tighten this guy down, our pulley shouldn't drag on the clutch. And right now, I have a feeling that it will. We might need more shims. Maybe we could try it. I'm pretty sure this thing will need just a couple more shims. yeah, it's right now it's like stuck engaged. Doesn't spin. So get this guy back out. Where are we gonna get shims? The other option is, since he just has to drive it to my shop, and I probably have shims there, is to leave this off. Right? All we need right now is for the belt not to fly off of this thing. So we can leave that guy. It's not a problem. Just run it like this. The pulley will spin, everything will be fine. You know, even if the coil engages, it won't matter. So basically the car is fixed. Alright, so back to our shims. So we need more of these guys. We have 4 original units here, 3 thin ones and 1 thick one. All together, we'll do this in millimeters. So they measure 2.0 millimeters across. The thick one is 1 millimeter, and the thin ones are going to be, I guess, 330 microns. Yep, there it is, 0.33. And then I found a copper washer that is 1.6 millimeters. Perfect. So what we're going to do is modify this copper washer to actually fit on the shaft. Right now it's just a little bit, see, the inner diameter is a little too thin, so we'll drill it out to the same size as these original shims, and then we'll put this guy in. That will be, you know, 1 2/3, and then we can stack up the thin shims to get it to, you know, basically whatever you want, 2 2/3 or all the way up to 3 2/3, and we'll see what the gap is. And but then that way we'll take up most of the room with this guy and leave these for the fine adjustment. Alright, easier solution. I just found a regular metal washer, and this guy is 7/16 inner diameter and actually fits inside the bore of the compressor. So what we're going to do is just go one step further. There we go. Beautiful. Come back from this side. That's our shim. That's it. Easy. This baby is 1.6 millimeters. Well, this custom fabrication takes up some time. But anyways, we have our 2 millimeter custom shim. Now we're going to try to put this guy in here. It's a brand new washer. It's actually, the outer diameter is less than the other one that was getting stuck. I'll put that guy in there. So that's 2 millimeters, and that was not enough. And then we'll try 2 of the thin guys. So this will be 2.6 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. Now we can install our pulley. Okay, that's feeling a lot better now. And just tighten the center bolt down and see if we have any drag. And if we don't, then we're good. So it's still dragging a bit. So what I want to do is put in the fat shim, so we'll have 3 millimeters of free, spacing. So overall, this repair is still way cheaper than a new compressor. We don't have to discharge or charge anything. You don't have to pay big money to a shop and just replacing your clutch. And the only reason you have to, if we had shims, we would have been done already. But we just needed to space it out a little bit over the OEM spacing to make it work. Now we'll have 3.3 millimeters. How about that? Does that work? I definitely have freedom of spin. Now let's tighten this guy down. Alright, there we go. Sweet, no drag at all. Now I just want to make sure that this gap is appropriate. So let's torque this guy down a little bit. Now this is a low torque. Don't want to over torque this guy at all. It's kind of a small thread, just by hand. Okay, good enough. Awesome. I like it. Alright guys, belt is on. Super easy. Release tensioner. Standard procedure. Let's see how she runs. Basically the question is the air conditioning system shot? Awesome. Alright, moment of truth. I mean, now the car is drivable, so that was kind of a priority. It would be nice if his air conditioner also worked, so let's turn the fan on 1 and push the button. So I bet the fuse for that guy is blown somewhere along the way. Don't know where it is. Oh, we can. Is there an AC fuse here? No. Man, this thing's rattling. Ugh. Let's find where that fuse is. Alright, so found a fuse labeled air conditioning, but it's hot all the time, both sides of it, even when the air conditioner is not requested. And if you turn the blower off, it's still hot all the time. Everything's hot all the time. So, wiring diagram. See what it takes for this air compressor clutch to kick on. Alright, on BBB Industries, this AC compressor is controlled by the IPDM in the engine room through an AC relay, and there should be a 10 amp fuse right there. Let's go find that guy. So I think this is the IPDM. I'm going to try to get it out of here. It's like, do they not want you to go inside of here and look at the fuses? It's not like a black box. Harbor Freight pick to the rescue. This thing is so handy. It is unbelievable. Man, they really don't want you to get in here. I'll tell you that right now. They have like 500 clips. Maybe the fuses are on this side. Oh, that's nice. You gotta flip the fuse box over to get to the fuses. All right. AC compressor, 10 amp. Must be that guy up there. Oh, this guy up here. Space, space, space. Okay, let's measure that guy with a test light. Test light battery negative. So right now, on and off. So that fuse is obviously blown. That's cool. Let's replace that fuse and see if our clutch kicks on. Man, this thing's like not happy about something. 100% blown. Pop this guy in here. Kick on this. It's turning. Let's see if it'll keep turning. God, that rattle's annoying. Exhaust pipe is just freaking rusted off. You getting any cold air? Kind of. Rev it up a little bit. Well, I had it running with the AC on for a while. It seems to have stabilized. It's blowing cool air out of the vents. The compressor's not making any bad noises. It's spinning just fine. So maybe that's all it was, just a bad bearing. You know that feeling you get when you've seen this exact thing before and it wasn't just a bad bearing? On the Forester, when we actually had the compressor seize up, I guess it's not the case here. The engine is running fine, it's not laboring. If it was seizing up, we would definitely hear some bad noises or something, but I don't know. That's about it. And I don't know. What's the moral of the story? You don't have to buy a new compressor, but I don't want to say that because this thing might crap out tomorrow. But at least he'll get the guy home, and he saved a boatload of money just by installing the clutch kit. And that's it. So have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I'll follow up on the 2008 Nissan Versa. It's back in State College. Made it here, no problems. AC works fine, so the compressor clutch did the trick. Cross your fingers, it'll stay working. Customer has another complaint. He said at idle, the engine kind of surges. It's kind of surging right now. It kind of hiccups. The RPMs aren't very stable. Just a quick visual inspection. There is an air cleaner in here. Seems to be doing alright. Nissans have this weird air cleaner system. I want to take a look at our mass airflow data and RPMs. So you can see that, like right there, there's a kind of a surge, and it's reflected in the RPMs. The RPMs drop from 750 to like 650. We'll keep watching the data. You only rev it up a little bit. Right there, there's a big one. I'm holding the throttle steady. You can hear like bump, bump. And the other little piece of information is the exhaust pipe on this thing is rusted clean off before the muffler towards the back. So the muffler is all the way back here, and the exhaust pipe is rusted off. I mean, this thing is just hanging out in the breeze here. So, and he said that he noticed the problem when the exhaust got loud. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. The exhaust pipe breaks, and then you get this surge in the engine speed. So my question is it possible that a broken exhaust pipe causing, you know, less back pressure or whatever can cause a drivability problem? Usually you don't think that it would, but we have some new parts to install. Nice shot. So we're going to install these guys, make sure there's no leaks, and see if the car drives or runs smoother. Alright, the Nissan Versa is back out of the shop. Brand new exhaust system, cat back installed. Seems to be running super smooth. Take a look at scan data here. Look at the tach. That's rock steady at a little below like 900 RPM, 800, somewhere around there. Look at our scan data. So that fluctuation is like 30 RPM. So right around 850, it looks steady. Mass airflow, again, around 3 grams per second. For this car, that seems to be normal. It's happy spot. The revs up great, as well as the little 1.8 liter can. So I guess the exhaust system does matter in the at least idle quality. There's no more surging. I didn't do anything else. So there you go, controlled experiment. So thanks a lot for watching. Leave your thoughts, comments in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.